a special remote edition of ASU TV-13 News Brief. I'm your host, Ariel Robinson. In this episode, we will give you tips on surviving the COVID-19 pandemic with ways to protect yourself and even safe ways to exercise while practicing social distancing. Coronavirus disease, or COVID-19, is an infectious disease caused by a newly discovered virus. Most people infected with the COVID-19 virus will experience mild to moderate respiratory illness and recover without requiring special treatment. Older people and those with underlying medical problems like cardiovascular disease, diabetes, chronic respiratory disease, and cancer are more likely to develop serious illness. The best way to prevent and slow down transmission is be well informed about the COVID-19 virus, the disease it causes, and how it spreads. Protect yourself and others from infection by washing your hands or using an alcohol-based rub frequently and not touching your face. At this time, there are no specific vaccines or treatments for COVID-19. However, there are many ongoing clinical trials evaluating potential treatments. Social distancing, also called physical distancing, means keeping space between yourself and other people outside of your home. To practice social or physical distancing, stay at least 6 feet or 2 meters from other people. Do not gather in groups. Stay out of crowded places and avoid mass gatherings. Deshane Fry gives us more information about social distancing.
Hello and welcome to another edition of ASU TV-13. I'm Deshane Fry. Social distancing is defined as a way to keep people from interacting closely or frequently enough to spread infectious disease. Here are some tips of social distancing during the COVID-19 outbreak. Understanding the risk. One must understand how they could possibly harm one another if infected. One of the better ways to do this is to truly understand the illness, COVID-19, and the way it is spread. Be your own advocate. One must speak about their own problems, particularly while in quarantine. Since it isn't the best idea to go get tested without the proper symptoms, you're basically your own medical treatment. Talk to your doctor. Ask your healthcare provider whether it is possible that you can have a remote appointment via Skype or FaceTime. One could even utilize hotline numbers listed at the end of tip sheets. Lastly, use practical ways to cope. Relax as often as necessary by maintaining a healthy diet. Pace yourself between stressful activities. Reach out to loved ones and share your experiences, and remain 100% positive.
Kids around the country have been finding creative ways to entertain themselves during this pandemic. I stepped out to see what they're doing to keep busy. Quarantining and social distance has put a halt to a lot of people's lives. Even though kids have to do school from home, that's not going to stop them from having their spring break. It doesn't take much for kids to find ways to entertain themselves. Since a lot of areas are on lockdown, families will have to spend their spring breaks at home instead of going away. Kirsten Robinson, a sophomore in high school, tells how she's been adjusting to this type of spring break.
During this break, I've been taking more care of myself. I've been cooking better food. I've been exercising more. I've been playing games with my friends. I'm reading more and practicing my instrument more. If you're at home, you can also do these things as well as bond more with your family, like playing games such as Uno. You can pick up an instrument, practice on your work for when we go back to school.
During this time, it is important for families to keep following the rules and regulations of quarantine so that they may protect themselves, their families, and others. Vacation trips may be canceled, but kids will always find a way to have fun. This is Ariel Robinson reporting for ASU TV-13. Personal protective equipment is protective clothing, helmets, goggles, or other garments or equipment designed to protect the wearer's body from injury or infection. Gabrielle Terrett explains.
Let's talk about PPE, better known as personal protective equipment.
Since the beginning of the COVID-19 pandemic, hazmat suits, facial masks, gloves, and other equipment usually used by healthcare workers only. While this has led to a huge increase in revenue for the companies that sell these products, it has also led to a greater demand than there is a supply, followed by several hospitals' denial of protective equipment to their employees. Nurses have since been forced to work without the proper protective gear around highly contagious patients in hopes to raise hospital stocks of the item. Thankfully, there are other options, and though they may not be as effective, something is always better than nothing. This second option is homemade PPE, specifically masks. People everywhere have begun to make their own masks. some even selling them to others in their community or donating them in bulk to hospitals. Tutorials on how to make these masks can be found online. Be sure to contribute your talents to helping everyone stay safe during this global pandemic. Whether you sew at home or stay at home, just be safe. This has been Gabrielle Terrett reporting for ASU TV-13.
Many restaurants are adjusting after recent dine-in closures. Jay Douglas tells us what they're doing to adapt.
Local dining and bar industry workers and employers are a part of the nationwide struggle to financially survive the quarantine. During the COVID-19 pandemic, local restaurants have stopped offering dining-in services. They are adapting, looking for every avenue to replace their usual income and to keep serving the customers. The national and state level governments and other leaders and organizations are in discussion about the best way to provide relief to businesses and individuals affected by the shutdown. Meanwhile, restaurants have enforced drive-through assistance and pickup. This has been Jay Douglas for ASU TV-13.
ASU TV-13 reporter Travis Williams gives us some tips to stay entertained during social distancing.
Hi, this is Travis Williams reporting for Channel 13 ASU TV, and today I'll be giving you some tips on how to be entertained and remain to have a hobby while you're social distancing during coronavirus or COVID-19. Thing to do during this pandemic and social distancing is to make sure that you spend time with your family, because some people may not get a chance to. Also, scrolling the medias, it can be a good thing, but be sure not to do it for too long. Another thing that you can do is painting or drawing, brushing up on a skill you never knew you had or a skill that you haven't done up in a long time. Also, in-home workouts are very important because it can keep you healthy and active during this pandemic. And who says there's anything wrong with Netflix? Binge watch Netflix and after, get you a nap. Yes, that's right. Sleeping and resting during this pandemic is very important. Also, don't forget to wash your hands frequently. It's a hobby. And to be sure to have hygiene clear, take showers often. Thank you for tuning in to my tips. This is Travis Williams reporting for Channel 13 ASU TV. Thank you.
With gyms closing, many people have to find alternative ways to exercise. Trevin Day shows us his routine.
Since this pandemic started and all states are requiring everybody to quarantine and the gyms are closed, I'm going to show y'all an alternative way to work out. So today, I'm going to be showing y'all my workout in the park.
So before you start working out, make sure that you have a bottle of water or Gatorade, and make sure you stretch it real good. Stretch your arms, your legs, stretch it real good. So today I'm at Brown Memorial Park, located in Lafayette, Louisiana on the north side. So today I ran 3 laps around the mile-long track. I ran my first lap, I walked my second lap, and I ran my last lap. And now it's time to exercise. I started off with 2 sets of 50 crunches. Then I did 2 sets of 50 Russian twists, followed by 50 push-ups. And lastly, I did 30 squats. And now you're done. This is a quick routine you can do each and every day. You can kind of switch it up. And this is something you can do while we're in quarantine.
So there you go. That's a quick workout to do while we're in quarantine. So reporting from Lafayette, Louisiana, this is Trevin Day reporting for ASU TV-13.
That's all we have for this edition. Make sure to stay safe and do your part to flatten the curve. I'm Ariel Robinson, and this is your ASU TV-13 News Brief.